Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mr. Budehas, your online math teacher. In today's video, you will learn deciles for ungrouped data. This is the second measure of position. There are three measures of position. First, quartiles, second, deciles, and third, percentiles. In my previous video, I talked about the quartiles for ungrouped data. And for now, I'll be talking about deciles for ungrouped data. At the end of this video, you will be able to accurately compute the deciles of ungrouped data, properly illustrate deciles of ungrouped data, and correctly solve problems involving deciles. Let's start. Let's learn first what are deciles. Deciles are points that divide a ranked data into 10 equal parts. Each set of data has 9 deciles denoted by d sub I, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have the first decile, second decile, up to 9th decile. These are the 9 deciles and their interpretation. First decile, it divides the set of data into the lower 10% and the upper 90%. The interpretation is, if your score is the first decile, it means that you are ahead of the 10% of the population, but there are 90% who are, or 90% of the population who are ahead of you. That's the interpretation if your score is the first decile. Next, we have the second decile, third decile, fourth decile, and fifth decile. This fifth decile, it divides the set of data into the lower 50% and the upper 50%. This is also called the median of the data. This fifth decile is also equal to the second quartile if we will be talking about quartiles. The interpretation of the fifth decile is, if your score is the fifth decile, it means that you are ahead of the 50% of the population, but there are 50% of the population who are ahead of you. Next is the sixth decile, seventh decile, eighth decile, and the ninth decile. Ninth decile, it divides the set of data into the lower 90% and the upper 10%. If your score is in the ninth decile, it means that you are ahead of the 90% of the population, but there are 10% who are 10% of the population who are ahead of you. Those are the 9 deciles. If there are n observations in a set of data, then the decile d sub I can be found on the I over 10 times the quantity of n plus 1 observation. For example, if you are going to find the fourth decile, where can you find the fourth decile? The d sub 4 is equal to 4 over 10 times the quantity of n plus 1 observation. This is the location, or this is how to find the location of the fourth decile. Just use this formula. You will just change your I, since this is d sub I, and your I is equal to 4, then just change here the value of I also. This illustration shows the position of the 9 deciles in a ranked data. Take note, we need to arrange first the data into ascending order. L here is the lowest value and H is the highest value. Each part has 10% since we divided the deciles, divide it into 10 equal parts. So each part has 10%, a total of 100%. These are the 9 deciles, the position of the 9 deciles. Okay, let's try examples of the deciles for ungrouped data. Example number 1. Arrange the following set of data in ascending order and then divide them into 10 groups accordingly. These are the 20 data. We will first arrange the data in ascending order. And now we now have 8, 8, 9, up to 23. 8 is the lowest value and 23 is the highest value. Since there are 20 scores in a given set of data, there will be 20 divided by 10, which is equal to 2. And that 2 is the number of scores per group. Now we have 8, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 12, 12, 12, up to 22, 23. So those are the 10 groups with 2 members or 2 scores per group. That is on how to divide the 20 scores into 10 groups accordingly. Second example. Determine the second decile, fifth decile, and the seventh decile of the data below. 77, 79, 82, 78, 84, 89, 80, 83, 81. As you observe, the data is not yet in order. So first thing to do is we are going to arrange the data in ascending order. Now we have 77, 78 up to 89. This is now in ascending order. Second step is we are going to solve, of course, for the second decile. We will solve for I over 10 times the quantity of n plus 1. With I is equal to 2 since we are to find the second decile. And n, that's the number of observation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 observations. Or there are 9 data or 9 scores in a given set of data. This is the formula to find the location of the second decile. Now we have 2 divided by 10 times 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. And 10 divided by 10, that is just 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So cancel lang ito. Now we have 2. Thus, second decile lies on the second observation. Therefore, second decile is equal to 78. Of course, we will be using the arranged data. So we'll just count 1 and 2 since we are to find the second decile. And the second decile lies on the second observation. That's why d sub 2 there is equal to 78. Third, solve for the fifth decile. The fifth decile can be found on the I over 10, or our I here is equal to 5. So we have 5 over 10 times n plus 1. Our n again is equal to 9. So we have 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. And 10 times 5 is 50. 50 divided by 10 is equal to 5. Thus, the fifth decile lies on the fifth observation. Using the arranged data, we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, the fifth decile is equal to 81. Next, lastly, we are going to solve for the seventh decile. Solve for I over 10 times the quantity of n plus 1 with I is equal to 7 since we are to find the seventh decile. And again, n is equal to 9 to determine the location of the seventh decile. And that is 7 divided by 10 times 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. 10 times 70 is, 10 times 7 rather, is equal to 70 divided by 10. That is equal to 7. Thus, the seventh decile lies on the seventh observation. Therefore, d sub 7 or seventh decile is equal to 83. Just count 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I'm done with my discussion for today. Now it's your turn to answer the individual practice. I have two problems here. First, determine the lower 20% of the scores below. Second, in the given set of data below, determine the fifth decile and the seventh decile. Please do comment your answers below so that I can check if your answers are correct. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching.